head guard, weighing in at 156 pounds, 5'7", 8, 9, 5'8".
You were right the first time. I wish I was taller, but
We all wish we were taller, Monica. It looks like we have Mr. Jim Sway with us today.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Pretty good, Jim. How are you?
good.
Well, we usually a few more people pop on here, but glad that you joined us. And Monica and I were just discussing earlier when we had our chat if we were still going to have the call today because most of today is at this point there were no real updates, but we thought this would be. I said, no, Jim's going to be on. We're like, oh, yes, right. I said, well, this would be a good time to at least catch him up to speed on, what we're doing here, what these calls are about, and, kind of how we progress with PeppTV. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, has Andrew shared anything about what we do on Wednesdays? Do you have any thoughts, questions, or should we just hop right into it?
Well, I think we had a good meeting this morning, don't you?
I do. I did. I thought it went really well. Talk about the food consortium. Was that
Right.
yesterday?
Or yesterday, I should say.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I think that and that obviously aligned here with this conversation. Monica was there as well, so to be able to work with these different partners and identify where where the food is being grown, how to. I think the biggest piece is how to make it accessible to the community. You have these gardens everywhere, but I don't think that the full community is taking advantage of it, and that could be just the lack of knowledge on how to prepare the food. So, I thought it went really well. How we can all work together. Yeah.
And I think there were, tell me if you agree with this, Monica. I think there were kind of three different themes that went through that meeting. One is, with Teens Grow Green, focusing on greenhouses. Walnut Way and Victory Gardens focusing on more community gardens. And I'll say ourselves, Pep Nation, kind of looking at the average individual who doesn't necessarily want to, go into a community garden, but would like to grow some vegetables. And I think we probably got the largest piece of the pie that we could work from. I don't know what your thoughts are.
No, I agree. I think even I didn't even think about this during the conversation, but even the self-contained grow buckets, and actually doing the blitz with that, where like we talked about last year, putting them together, selling them, or donating, or raising the money to assemble these grow buckets and getting them out to the community so they can have access to that will be really good.
But we've got 75 that are basically complete right now.
Oh wow!
That could be used just for this purpose.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
We did try selling them, and we're somewhat successful selling them through Teens Grow Green. The problem was they did a great job. They just didn't market them. I mean, people, we put about a half a dozen together, and we put them in their location over on Fort Washington Road, I believe it is.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
At Weber's Greenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, these things sell for, if you go to a store and bought something similar, you're talking, $40, $50.
Right.
And I personally think, you could easily sell them for 20, especially if you put a little dirt in it and maybe a cherry tomato or a basil plant, something that people can relate to, and just keep it that simple.
No, I think that's a great idea. What are your thoughts on a campaign for the domes and actually getting those? Because it seems like everyone has, and I'm sure that's from you and Andrew, and it sounds like the overlap with Vincent High School was there. But what are your thoughts on doing this? A campaign where we're saying, okay, we're going to build 100 domes this summer, or even 50 domes, and then what that
I think 50 is doable.
Mm-hmm.
By the same token, right now it takes, in round numbers, we built that dome that's next to your mother's house there in two time slots, 4 hours each with 4 people each. So, and that's a lot of labor to do, plus the kit.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that we are looking at, and we built one, is one that would basically do the same thing, but be extremely simple.
Okay.
It's a dome, but it's not a geodesic dome. In other words, it doesn't have all the diamonds and things in it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you put the chicken wire on, because I built one,
Mm-hmm.
it's just as strong. You can do vertical gardening and all the other stuff. But I mean, if you could make one of these things for 100, and you could go to a lot, and everything is pre-cut.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You assemble it in, I'll just say, 2 hours.
Mm.
You could, and the biggest thing is putting the chicken wire on and wrapping that around, and then using those zip ties to put it all together. But
Well, not to cut you off. I mean, either one is fine, but it just made me think of something. So we have a partnership with Employ Milwaukee and Earn and Learn. So what if we can, as far as the manpower, naturally there'll have to be an adult there that, will facilitate one of the youth development mentors. But in addition, that can be a job for the entire summer for, 7 or 8 young people from Earn and Learn. We do have a Earn and Learn. I mean, actually, it probably, because you're right, it does take time, it does take manpower, but with the organizations that are a part of that consortium and Earn and Learn, I think that we could fill that gap with those kids. What do you think?
I agree with you. What I've been trying to do is, right now the domes cost around, well, with all the stuff put together, as you said, 250, $300.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just saying, if we can get it down to 100 and get it, it does require to use a hacksaw. You got to cut the PVC into pieces,
Right.
and you got to drill some holes in it. So, would the Earn and Learn students be able to run a power drill? It's that would probably be my only question.
Mm-hmm. I think these are for the most part high school students. I think the youngest is 14. Yusuf, I know Yusuf was one of the young men that was helping build the domes, and he started with us as an Earn and Learn some 5 years ago now. So
Okay.
he would be. I think it's just if they're going to be doing 50 of them throughout the summer, so let's say they do a couple domes a week, 3 domes a week or whatever. I think that over time they'll learn those practices and should be.
Yeah, but I think that the neat thing is we could tie this in. Do you have any thoughts who might want to buy them? I mean, we might as well make a couple of bucks on this too.
Yeah, well, it would be nice to make some money. I think that as far as buying them, I don't necessarily know. However, I do believe well, I can't say this. Buying them, we could, I think we'll have a better chance in selling them maybe, in Whitefish Bay, Shorewood, places where, people have an acre or so of land that they're on and can afford the space
Right.
to put it up. A dome of this size, I mean, obviously that's a full lot that we have, and that's what we can put more there. But if I
Yeah.
were in someone's backyard, I'd take up the backyard on the city lot.
Yeah.
Just having
But
one.
it's 16 feet in diameter, so it's not that big.
Yeah, it's not huge, but I mean the backyards in the city aren't that big either, though.
Right.
But furthermore, I think that like you mentioned in a couple of your emails that you sent to me that we're going back and forth, we can put together a campaign for it and just raise the money, and instead of selling them, it's like we use the funds that we earn through the campaign to
Okay. Okay. Okay.
but,
I think with a little publicity, what you're going to find out is the fact that people are going to come back and say, "Hey, I'd like one also."
mm, mm,
Once they see what they could get,
okay.
and I think this, and we tie this in with the 5 gallon buckets, and tie it in also with the I'm calling what we've been doing is these circular raised growing beds
Hmm.
where we use recycled bottles. You saw that when you were out at our home,
Yes.
and I mean it's a good appeal to say, hey, now we're taking recycled buckets or we're taking recycled bottles and incorporating them in growing vegetables.
Hmm. And I think that's a great idea. Well, let's put together the exact cost. I know Mother still has some receipts from the wires and stuff like that. I still have receipts from ordering the domes initially. So let's see what it will cost the hard cost for purchasing 50 of
Okay,
these domes. And then
sure.
we can start putting together a campaign and push for the summer. See if we can get something out by mid to late February.
Okay,
That sound
yeah,
reasonable, Monica?
yeah. No, sounds good.
Okay. So that'd be great. The other things that Jim, are you from? You're from Wisconsin. You're born in Wisconsin, right?
Yep.
What part?
I was born on 52nd and Center.
Oh, really? So I think, Monica, Jim, if you don't mind, we would like to interview you for a project that we're doing with Bell Phillips Juvenile Correctional Center. And what we've been doing is interviewing, men, women, people that have been in business, especially those who have grew up and born and raised in the city of Milwaukee, and just to give these young people different perspectives on life and what was your trajectory and becoming the man you are today. Now naturally, some people say, oh well, you want to have people that are closer in age to the kids. I don't necessarily agree with that because um, you know these kids also have parents, grandparents, uncles, etc. So I think that everyone's story is relevant, and so we're basically telling stories. So we would love to schedule a Zoom with you, do an interview. It's going to be really quick, 10 minutes tops.
Sure.
But we're talking about where you're born, school you went to,
Hmm.
college, business, so on and so
Sure.
forth.
Sure. Be more than happy to do that. Is there any is there some prep I can do
Yep,
as
yep.
compared to getting a couple cold questions?
For sure, Monica, if you could forward Jim over it's there's a lot of questions on there, Jim. We won't hit all the questions, but
No, no. I just want to get a feel for how it rolls.
yeah. Well, Monica, you can forward that over. That'd be great. And then there's also Jim. You're at Yahoo.com. You don't have a Gmail, do you?
No, I just have jschwy@yahoo.com.
Okay. Well, what we can do, Monica, if you could send him maybe one of them that's on YouTube, so you can just see previous interview how it went.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd be very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So yeah, we could schedule that this week, this weekend. The sooner the better. Our goal is to get 20 videos done this month. So if we can get that, that'd be really awesome.
Okay. Well, let me know when you'd like to schedule it. I'll be honest with you. I'm typically gainfully employed on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings for a couple hours on the tennis court.
That's what I was going to ask. I said, there's no golfing going on right now, so he must be playing tennis or cricket or something. You know? No, that's
I
funny.
was going to take up rugby, but that was just too tough.
Well, Monica's getting involved too. You know, she's in Springfield.
Yep.
Okay, all right. She's in Springfield, Connecticut. I'm joking. I'm joking. Springfield, Massachusetts, and so she's getting involved in doing some rugby out there. You know, outside of what we were doing with the kids here in Milwaukee. So that should be sweet. Well, we had some. Monica had some bullets on the agenda. Um, I know we talked about the video, so we appreciate you doing the video for us, Jim. We can get you going. You know, the purpose of the PeppTV meeting is to, you know, naturally put out content just like this video here, us talking about projects and ways to promote and get things done. So many times we take these videos here and put them on Pep TV for making a business, you know. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
all the things that happen behind the scenes that you don't necessarily see, you know, you just see the end result. So we want to showcase that. Monica, were there any additional points that we wanted to go over and share with Jim while we have him? I see Melissa's here too.
Well, not too much extra,
Okay.
but I was just gonna like bring up what we discussed earlier about that like we have some videos on the way from like we have Chef Audie, Jim that's providing some cooking videos, and then Luther Hall is a art teacher, and so he's working on sending over some uh, like drawing tutorials and different stuff. So we got a few things on the way.
Okay. Okay. I'll also share with you all Proceed. See, I think it's Proceed that net, or is it Proceed? Let me see. Maybe it's Proceed dot app. I'm going to share with you all Proceed. So, Jim, I don't know if you recall when we were having the conversation talking about, you know, utilizing individuals' food stamps so they can purchase food and, you know,
Mm-hmm.
having
Mm-hmm.
videos. So this organization Andrew connected us with called Proceed app. I just put it in the chat box. Check them out. We have another meeting coming up. We did an interview with him too for Val Phillips. So Monica, when Monica sends you the link, you'll see a bunch of videos on the Pep TV YouTube page. Some are you know the interviews, etc. But this Proceed app is really cool because it allows you to like literally do step by step videos on how to prepare meals or how to build something or whatever you're attempting to do. And our hope is that, you know, we can work with him to, you know, get you know, like the chef Audie and some other cooks that we have, and just people cooking in general that have you know, meals that they love to prepare, and we can share that process through this Proceed app. So if you haven't seen it, go
Is
ahead.
it called just Proceed?
Yeah, it's a PROCEED .app.
.app.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and I put in. Oh, you're probably on your phone, but I put it in the chat box there too, so you can go and check it out. The other thing that I did want to mention, and like we said, today's call was going to be kind of short just because we have, you know, we don't have a bunch of additional updates, but there we did want to and I think I sent out a message about it, about the camping, and postponing.
Mm-hmm.
So since we have you on the phone, we have Melissa here as well as Monica. Um, could you kind of give us some updates on where or what their thoughts are? Because I know with the whole COVID, I mean, one of the questions I
Yeah.
asked is
Well, did you see the email that Sherry and John sent out?
they
They were
respond.
quite enthused about doing something like that. At least I think, having you guys come up for a short period of time and just kind of get the lay of the land and put together what we'd like to do.
Okay, I didn't know that they responded back to
Yes,
that.
they did.
Oh, that's great. Oh, it is here saved underneath the um, underneath their file. Okay. Well, we can start planning that. I don't know when a good date will be.
Well, I think, we all got to take a look at our calendars. They got some between, like, I don't know, mid-May and early June. And, the question is, how many days would you want to go? And because I think it would it would make sense to go up on one day and spend at least a day and a half to come back. You can drive up there and back in
Mhm,
5 hours
mhm.
easily.
Yes. Yeah, I think this is cool. Yeah, I'm reading the message now. So yeah, if we can do that, be great. I think yeah, let's determine what dates work for everyone. Obviously, I would love for Monica and Melissa to be a part of it, and Brandon, Kenny, get those guys up, and everyone that's involved, making more like a retreat for us. So
Mm-hmm.
ladies, based upon your schedules and with being out of state, we can just start giving some thought to it. I'll respond back and say we'll start giving thought to what would be a good time.
Yeah,
That'd be good. So I'll respond back to
but
them.
I believe they indicated that they have 4 cabins available.
They did say that. They did, which is more than enough. I personally would want to sleep outside, in the tent.
We're planning on that.
That's just me, but I don't know if Monica and Melissa are game for that or but we do have tents, so we could pull it off. So I'll respond, but let's make sure we put that on the agenda too, Monica, for next week, just so we can put it out there, see who's interested, and maybe send out some dates. By next week Thursday
Mm-hmm.
to them to let them know what we're interested in.
Do you think it makes sense to go up there on, let's just say, a morning and uh, come back, go up on the first day of the morning and come back the third day being in the afternoon? So, you literally have 2 full days there.
Yeah,
As Is that too long, too short? Let me, you got to tell me what you think,
yeah.
what
I
you
mean,
want to do.
for me, I would say 2 to 3 days for me would be great. I can sleep outside and look at the stars. Well, I wish I could do that for a living. That would be great. But
Mm-hmm.
it's really so I would say 2 to 3 days is great. But I think that really, if Monica and Melissa are wanting to participate, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I would have
When
to.
you come back from school?
That's a great question. I hope to know the answer to that sometime soon.
Okay.
But I mean, we still celebrate spring break too, though, right? For school.
Not this year.
Okay. And then what about you, Melissa? Are you planning on staying? You're planning on staying in New Jersey? She'll be there for the next couple of years, right?
Yep.
So are you? Would you be willing to come home for something like this, Melissa?
Um, it depends on the date,
Okay.
and because I would have to, fly there and everything.
Right. Um, Well, the days that they gave us on that email, I think Jim just said it too, but it was let me pull it back up here. 1 second. Because I think you're right, Jim. If we can figure out what days we're thinking, and then everyone else can just kind of, if they can make it, great. If not, then um, they won't be able to. But I think at least we have some days. So they did say mid-May up until June 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so May 15th to June 12th. So anytime between there.
Yeah, and maybe it could be the Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take a look at that.
Okay. All right. Well, let's if it's okay with you, ladies, propose a Memorial Day weekend.
No, and I'm not proposing. I'm just saying, give that some thought.
Okay. Well, if we can consider that, obviously, I think a lot of people come home for that. I don't. But let's look at that, and also, maybe I think what would be good is I send out just kind of some 3-day slots. So I'll
Right.
send you all some 3-day slots that we can do it. We will include the Memorial Day weekend, and then we make a decision on which would be the best.
Okay, I think that would work out.
Okay. Let's see what else he had here. Um, I think that may be it. Outside of the, we did have the follow up meeting with Link today. I know I mentioned that to you all. That's the organization that's they're basically an investment faith based organization that invest in primarily development. From what I've read, I'll send you all the link right now in your, no pun intended, the link right now in the email. In this chat box. I think it's link.org. But I think that they may be beneficial not only for, this is it, not only for that the specific development project that I've been working on that you all know about. We do talk about that stuff too, Jim, on these calls. The ladies definitely help out on, sending different correspondence, connecting with, UWM and MATC. There's another young lady that works with us named Dorothea. She's usually on the call. But I would suggest you guys check this link out. I just sent it over to you. It's linc.org. They say their logo, the slogan is "No leader walks alone." And so at Link, we believe that empowered local leaders are the key to reaching more people with the gospel. It's a very unique organization. So if you haven't heard about it, definitely dive into it. I do have it's almost like a business plan manual. So I have that. We can go over that together for different projects that we're interested in. But you can see Milwaukee is one of their key cities. So perhaps we can dive more into that conversation with Link for the next meeting, and see if there's you guys have any thoughts on how we can utilize this.
Sure. Be more than happy to.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, if there's nothing else, like I said, I really, really appreciate you guys taking the time to come on. We will be joining again. Monica, you just sent the message out to Jim. If you could, the message that you sent to Jim, you could also just do a reply there and just see what date works. If there's a specific day that works, Jim, we'll send you the Zoom invite right away to get that interview done. It could be tomorrow. Be fine.
Sounds great. We'll do.
All right. All right. Well, thank you all for making the time, and have a wonderful evening. Thanks for being the best part of Pep Nation, Industry Solutions, and all associated with our 1040.
Okay. See you guys.
Have a good one.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.